Hey guys, Trophy Crappie here, and I wanted to tell you about an awesome fishing pole that I picked up. It's a Jenko Fishing Slab City jigging and trolling rod. This pole is excellent. I'm gonna try to upload the video here shortly, but I went long lining for crappie on yesterday. Caught a 10-pound hybrid. Now I have experience with cheaper poles that you just can't deal with. They'll break on you when you snag something. I've broken several poles. Just again, maybe my drag's a little too tight, but I've broken several poles in the past. I was really impressed with how durable this pole is. Just you can see it, starting with the fact that the guides, I don't know if you can see it here, but the guides are stainless steel. Okay, when you get a rod, pick it up and see how many stainless steel guides you see in fishing rods. Now, what's the difference? I like to run braid. It holds up. And what happens if you get cracks in a plastic or graphite rod guide, it'll start to wear on your line. And I used to run nanofill and it would fray, and I couldn't figure out what the problem was. Well, I had a guide that had a crack in it, and just over time, especially when you're trolling, that rod is constantly flexing back and forth. Okay, so essentially, especially, and we'll get into trolling crankbase later, we will do that, but for now, let's just talk about jigs. All right, it's just constantly flexing. Okay, all right, and that line is moving ever so slightly in that rod guide. So essentially, having a stainless steel rod guide, it's the difference between a pole that you have to replace every couple of years and a pole that you invest in. One of my favorite, most important things, okay, this is a 10-foot pole here. See this rod tip? A lot of guys talk about they spray paint their rod tips. This is already chartreuse for you. So you can really detect the guides, detect the hits when you get one. You'll have 6, 8 poles sitting out the back of your rod. The last thing you need is to be able to detect the bite. So, and sometimes the bites, this is what the fish are doing. I'm going to try to mimic what they were doing this past weekend. It'd be running right, a little bit of weight on it, and it would do this. That's all you got. They weren't hammering it. They were just sitting on there, and it would load up. That's all you would see. I'd grab it, set the hook. My kids have got to eat, guys. No, all jokes aside, caught several fish. I didn't get my limit like I hoped I would, but I caught some good fish, and honestly, I attribute it to this rod. I'd much rather use this rod over all of my other rods. That's the honest truth. So the line guides are good, okay, stainless steel. The rod tip, and the last thing is how light and balanced its rod is, okay? Excellent rod, really pleased with it. There's a lot of good things I like about this rod. I talked about the line guides, the tip of the pole being chartreuse. Really nice tip, but the most important thing is it's light. I fished for 8 hours yesterday, easy, and my boat's set up where I have to reach a little bit to get to the rod guide, the rod holders. Having a light rod makes all the difference. Having a balanced rod makes all the difference in the world. Okay, it's my favorite rod, no doubt. I go back and forth. This is because I've got some old trusty rods that I've grown up with, but I come back to using this one. Casts great. It's great for jigging, one poling if you want to do that, but I like the long rod. So I highly recommend you get the Slab City. It's the SC 1002. This is a 10-foot rod. It's not too heavy, and that's the key for me, so I really like it. I recommend it. Jenko fishing rods, great rods.